Eventjes kijken. We gaan even wat muziek opzetten. Wow, what the fuck? Wow, the Eurozone is like a bad game. There's high debt and low debt countries. The goal of the high debt countries is to shift as much of that debt into low debt countries so they never have to pay down debt. Crazy thing is the low debt countries allow us to have a high debt wave. Nou, ik moet zeggen, dit werkt best wel lekker dit. Dit werkt best wel lekker. Moet je eens kijken, even kijken hoor. Nou, we gaan even kijken naar de Europese staatsschulden. Kijken hier. 106% gestegen. 38.000% omhoog genomen. Ongelooflijk. Ongelooflijk. Dum. Wat is dat, je lafaard? Wat ben je cowards? Wauw. Wauw, wat een lafaard. Tering, hé. En dat beukt ze ook nog eens een keer allemaal. En daarom moet je op vechtsport gaan. Kijk hier. Wauw, wat een lafaard. Wat een lafaard. Wat een lafaard. Wauw. En hoe zien ze eruit? They look kinda black. They look kinda black. Kijk hier. Ja, man. Als dit je kind is, jongen, dan moet je je schamen, man. Kijk hier, wat de fuck is dit? Dit, jongen, wat is dit, man? Wat is dit? Kijk hier. Ja, weet je dat? Wauw, maar wie leert dit eigenlijk aan kinderen? Wie leert jouw kind? Je moet met 12 van één gast in elkaar proberen te staan. Wie leert dat aan zijn kind? Wie leert dit aan kinderen? Wie leert, ik zweer het, hè. Ik ga niet zeggen ik heb het nooit zelf, maar je weet, als je erover nadenkt, ik van... Dus hij beukt soms keer allemaal, dat zegt wel al. Ja, dit is ook interessant. Maar bronnen, ik zie geen bronnen. Als je dit soort shit volgt, moet je met bronnen komen. Dat is logisch. Bronnen, my friend. Ja, dat is waar, ja. Kijken of er nieuwe berichten zijn. Kijk.
You know what about it? You know, I'm just gonna keep my opinion to myself. But anyway, I'm voting for Trump. So what somebody's gonna do about it?
I don't think anybody. I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you.
Oh yeah, but I'm just talking about. So what?
Yeah, does it make you feel weird that people?
So what?
Do people? Why is it people care about your opinion so much? Is that weird to you that people freak out about your opinion?
No, they believe I have a lot of followers, this and that. But this is my opinion. This is what I believe. Am I going to say, yeah, man, let's go for cops killing niggas? No. Okay? But if I like Donald Trump and I want to vote for him, I'm going to do it. So what? What are you going to do? Shoot me, beat me up?
No,
I don't
stop.
think so.
No. But I think that people.
I mean, that's a fact.
Whenever I had a Republican president, I made a lot of money.
That's true.
A lot of people say that.
You know, whenever
A lot
I
of people say that.
you know, I'm just going to keep my opinions to myself. But anyway, I'm voting for Trump. So what somebody's going to do about it?
I don't think anybody. I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you.
Oh yeah, but I'm just talking about. So what?
Yeah, does it make you feel weird that
No.
people?
So what?
Do people? Why is it people care about your opinion so much? Is that weird to you that people freak out about your opinion?
No, they believe I have a lot of followers, this and that. But this is my opinion.
Dit is wel mooi. Dit is een mooie quote. Dit is een mooie quote. Wauw. The savings are being printed away. Ja, man. Maar mensen geloven die shit niet natuurlijk. Mensen geloven die shit niet omdat men kan het niet men kan het niet geloven dat hun geld minder waard wordt. Zo zijn we gebrainwashed. Even kijken wat hij hier doet. Ja, man.
It clicks in your mind, your immediate reaction is, oh, I got to hurry and buy as much as I can because someone else is going to go take all my Bitcoin away from me. So like in 2020, when I started buying Bitcoin, I was thinking, oh no, I got to do this in a hurry because someone's going to figure it out and the price is going to 10x. And I better get it before it 10x's. So, I mean, that's a natural reaction when it finally clicks in your head. Because you're thinking, why wouldn't every billionaire in the world go and buy $1 billion of Bitcoin, smash buy it overnight, and just to make $1 billion? Because why wouldn't they just want to make the $1 billion, or 5 billion or 10 billion or any amount of money? I mean, Bitcoin, it feels like in the early days the infinite money glitch, right? But yeah, because once you get Bitcoin and it clicks in your mind, you
day for 3 years. They don't talk about Hugh Edwards. No, they don't talk about Philip Schofield. That only got a day or two. My brother and I, 3 solid years of calling us human traffickers. Then the case begins to fall apart. The judge says we can go because this whole case is garbage. So then they call us tax evaders. And I put a video up about that because the BBC is the propaganda arm of the British government, and the British government seems desperate to destroy my influence. Well, that didn't work. something very interesting happened recently. A Florida court has ruled that the girls who started this whole human trafficking investigation are liars. So now we know that the girls who started all of this are liars, and the BBC haven't printed that, even though there's been press releases, there's been videos explaining it. It's all over the internet. No, after 3 years of insulting us and calling us human traffickers every day, we now know the girls who started this investigation have been deemed liars by a Florida court. The BBC does not report on that. Instead, in perfect synchronicity with the Matrix, they do another attack on us and release this other garbage. Influencers driving extreme misogyny, say the police. And the BBC, after 3 years of insulting me, now they know they're completely wrong and calling me a tax evader, are now coming out saying that Andrew Tate, am personally responsible for an increase in violence against women. Well, let's talk about this. Firstly, BBC, propaganda arm of the British government, if you give a shit about the safety of women, why don't you talk about the migrant crisis? Why are you allowing thousands and thousands of military-age males from cultures which don't respect women to land on the shores of the UK, unchecked, no passports, no one knows where they go, out into our cities in real time, and you never once complain about that?
Yeah.
Do you think that's good for women? That's the first thing, if you actually give a shit about the safety of women. And secondly, this whole entire report, because I've read this article, is bollocks, head to toe. You have some female police officers sitting here saying, oh, Andrew Tate's responsible because we have more crimes committed against women and women crimes are going up and it's all Andrew Tate's fault. So I dug a little deeper. You know, one of the crimes which is increasing rapidly, sexual assault. Disgusting. Sounds terrible. We don't want sexual assault to increase rapidly, do we? Until you look even deeper into it, because the UK has such bullshit laws, do you know what's included in sexual assault? Inappropriate jokes. You heard it. There's more inappropriate jokes against women, and those are now put down as sexual assault, and that's put down as a type of violence, and they blame me for that. So then the BBC prints 25% more violence against women because of Andrew Tate, because of the odd inappropriate joke. Do you know who suffers a whole bunch of violence? Men. Men are more likely to get attacked on the street. We're more likely to get murdered. We're more likely to go to jail. We're more likely to suffer robberies. Men actually suffer more violence than women. Are there any articles about that? No. Do you know who else suffers a whole bunch of inappropriate jokes? Men. Every single building site, every single fucking serious workplace on this planet, which is predominantly male, there are inappropriate jokes all day long. We make fun of each other all day, every day, while building the skyscrapers you enjoy. That is the world we live in. But instead, they don't comment about that. They don't care about the violence against men. They don't care that men have to work hard. They don't care that men have to suffer jokes. No, they just want to come along and pretend that somehow me as a person, I'm personally responsible for this form of violence against women, which is a joke they can't fucking handle. All of this is bullshit. All of it's bullshit, and everyone with a brain knows it. The BBC has doubled down on proving themselves nothing more but propagandists. And if they truly gave a shit about women, they would be encouraging men to be masculine, because masculine men protect society. Masculine men are what protect women from evil men. It takes power to beat power. And as we flood our shores with migrants, which is happening in real time, you're going to need masculine men more than ever. Because I guarantee you the soy boys who believe this shit are never going to try and stop a woman getting raped by some fucking sub-Saharan who just turned up and doesn't give a fuck if he goes to jail or not.
Yeah.
While we're talking about that, something else interesting I saw in the BBC today. Did you know a soldier was stabbed to death outside of his barracks 2 days ago? They barely mentioned it. Anyway, there's a picture of the guy, and guess what? He's from Africa. So now you have young men, the last remnants of the British Empire, the last young men with any balls at all, join the British Army. They either get sent to Ukraine to die in some pointless war for bankers, or they sit around their barracks training, because there's no point fighting for the British Army because you're not even defending the country, because the borders are wide open. So the enemies you're fighting abroad are allowed into your nation in real time to rape your women, spend your benefits, and if you walk around in your uniform proudly, they stab you to death on the fucking street. England is a failed society. It's a failed country. The MPs need to stop fucking complaining about me. Stop trying to pretend I'm the issue. Rishi Sunak, who just got fired. Now you got some other dipshit standing there saying I'm the only problem with the UK. You know the problems with the UK? If your house is burgled, please don't turn up. If you're robbed, please don't turn up. The streets are riddled with crime. There's murders. There's immigrants everywhere. Nobody knows where they're fucking from. Soldiers aren't safe to walk the street anymore. Women aren't safe because of migrants, not because of me. We've recategorized crime so that a little silly workplace joke is now considered violence. And the BBC doesn't comment on any of the issues the UK is actually facing. It instead dedicates all of its fucking time trying to damage my influence. People don't buy it. Nobody believes it. The harder you try and attack me, the larger I become. There's no amount of money I could have paid for the amount of free fucking advertising these clowns have given me. And the only reason I'm making this message in the first place is to highlight the absolute hypocrisy of a company like the BBC or organization like the BBC, which have sexual predators working for them, which they never mention. And then they have innocent men they mention every single day. And when we finally get a ruling proving we were innocent all along, they double down and make up some new bullshit to attack us with. You are scammers. You are liars. And that is why every single time I sit down with you, I decimate you in real time. You don't give a fuck about journalistic freedom because you didn't care about Julian Assange. You don't give a fuck about the truth because you pushed the vaccine. And you don't.
Yep.
What a woman is. The same people that are screaming at us to vote for Kamala because she's a woman can't define what a woman is. The same people that are screaming at us to vote for Kamala because she's a woman can't define what a woman is.
Dumb motherfucker. Dumb idiots. Echt waar. Dumb idiots.
Perhaps you don't understand, but to them, the world is summarized in a triangle. At the top of the triangle is the empire of good, and the empire of good is them. They are prosperity. They are everything positive. They are entitled to all the happiness in this world. They have the right to all the riches. They impose their worldview, their vision, their way of life. That's why during the conquest, they would come to our lands and say they had discovered our lands, because to them, we were savages and had nothing like them. So, they call us natives, and it's them, the people, who have all the rights. To them, the world must operate as they want. To illustrate, I'll take a few examples. Look at their movies. They have brainwashed their people into believing they're superior and entitled to everything. You won't say otherwise. In all their films that they propagate, you will always find the villains are either Russians, South Americans, or blacks playing the roles of drug dealers, pimps, human traffickers, and recently, Arabs playing the roles of terrorists. This is how they perceive the world. On the economic side, who among us hasn't labeled Chinese products as cheap goods? But today, I can tell you that we were all wrong because China has advanced technology, and it's in China that most of these countries source their goods, put their brand on them, and sell them to us as their own. Look around. Entrepreneurs in construction won't deny that all their equipment today is Chinese. Those in transportation won't deny it either. They lied to us. We traveled the world in the past 20 months looking for companies and factories, and we realized everything leads back to China. Yet through their propaganda, they made us hate all Chinese products, making us believe that only their products were good. To better understand what I'm saying, it's simple. To better understand what I will say, we need to go back a little in time. You need to go back in time and read about the Tsars, Mongol conquests, Persian, Turkish, and Ottoman empires. Read their history, and you will understand why the world is the way it is. At the base of the triangle, there are two empires. On one side, the empire of evil, and on the other, the empire of slaves. This is how they see the world. Who do they call the empire of evil? Those I just mentioned. Go back in time, read, and you will understand why they see them as the empire of evil. They believe they must fight and eradicate the empire of evil because it embodies the devil. They communicate this and make their people understand it that way. This is why after World War II, in the 1980s, I will take the case of Russia. All schemes were implemented to collapse it under President Gorbachev, orchestrated by President Ronald Reagan. Three main strategies caught our attention. First, they went to Saudi Arabia and asked them to lower the oil price from $35 to $7 to collapse the Russian economy. Alongside that, remember something. The second strategy, they armed the Taliban, who were received by President Ronald Reagan at the White House with CIA-supplied Stinger surface-to-air missiles to fight the Russians. Later, they pretended to fight the Taliban themselves. Go figure. The third strategy was a bluff, the Star Wars project, which led Gorbachev to create the Paulus project, sinking Russia further. Once Russia collapsed, those who claimed to be the empire of good began to gloat until Vladimir Putin's team came to revive Russia. The empire of evil, according to them, has suffered greatly. Look at Iran today, facing all possible sanctions. Look at how they describe certain people. Through communication, they can manage to make you hate a people or love a people. They are very strong in communication and use all possible channels. Look at the wars that are raging. They create them for their own interest. Finally, according to them, the empire of slaves is Africa and some South American peoples. In their minds, as I mentioned earlier, Africa belongs to them. Our lands, our riches belong to them. And they can't conceive that Africans could emancipate, rise and challenge them. And for this reason, they believe Africans are easy to manipulate and driven by emotions. They will always find an African to fight against his brother. And it has always been like that. Unfortunately, through their communication, they made us hate our own skin color. In many cultures, including in Burkina Faso, mourning was symbolized by the color blue. When a woman lost her husband, she wore blue clothes for a period. They came and told us that black symbolizes mourning, the devil, mediocrity, everything bad. Unfortunately, we swallowed this so much that we wear black when mourning. We need to wake up because this is how they see the world. They are the empire of good. Others are the empire of evil. And we are the empire of slaves. This is the imperialist worldview. You need to understand this. I want to make a point to some intellectuals who seem to want to preach for the imperialists. Do they ignore this part of history? I'm not making this up. It's declassified. You can find everything I said in libraries or online. Don't these intellectuals know the history of this world? Maybe it's dishonesty, or a few dollars that make them preach for the imperialists. Our intellectuals must always preach to enlighten our people, our masses, so they understand where they come from and how the imperialists see them. Let's take the example of some wars. You followed the Iraq War, a big lie about weapons of mass destruction. Some US senators did everything to get proof but couldn't. Remember, several people resigned from the CIA after this war. Evidence was fabricated with the help of Western secret services. We remember that Niger was accused at the time of selling uranium to Iraq. And the same scenario played out recently with accusations of clandestinely selling uranium to Iran. This is déjà vu. They made this claim but found no proof. Even the United Nations eventually found no tangible evidence of weapons of mass destruction. Their objective was to destroy Iraq, create the Islamic State just like they created the Taliban state in the 1980s, armed them, and later pretended to fight them. Understand the game. This game has gone on too long. We need to wake up, understand, and fight for our future. All these wars, Iraq, Syria, Libya, were fabricated to destabilize the world for their benefit, ensuring that no one could ever match them. Today, we see the same in the Sahel with terrorism imposed on us, because they will always find blacks who will get excited and take up arms against their black brothers. This is what we are living. They have never left this model, and unfortunately, many people agree with them for a few dollars. They sell themselves cheaply to the enemy, to the imperialists, and fight against their brothers.
Ja, interessant. Heel interessant. Heel interessant. Kijk, wat nog meer? Ja, dat ook. Ja, from deep throat to deep state. Even kijken hoor.
What's that, brother? Brother,
Grappig over dit ding.
What's that, brother?
Ik weet dat ik in januari werkte ik voor een bezorgbedrijf van de FedEx. En die had ook een bedrijf van stadsreiniging. Die reinigde de stad. Maar dat was gewoon een privébedrijf. Gewoon een commercieel bedrijf. En die man zegt gewoon, ja, we zijn eigenlijk best wel blij met deze service. Waarom? De gemeente kan het niet aan. De gemeente kan het niet aan. En dan moet je het zo bekijken. Dus als de gemeente het niet aan kan, de gemeente kan het dus niet aan, maar er wordt wel gemeentebelastingen gegeven. Er worden wel plannen gemaakt om de stad autoluw te maken. En allemaal groene projecten en shit. Maar de stad raakt vervuild. De junks liggen overal bij mij in de buurt. Ze liggen overal te slapen en er wordt niks aan gedaan. Het lijkt net of de politie daar komt en dat ze weer weg moeten gaan, omdat ze niet zoveel kunnen doen. Maar dat is dus het ding, als je niet weet waar je op stemt, uiteindelijk stem je op degene. Uiteindelijk zul je degene krijgen waar je niet op gestemd hebt. Waarom? Omdat anderen daarop stemmen. Dit is gewoon het resultaat van slecht beleid. En je kan zeggen wat je wil, waar je op stemt is aan jou, maar dit is typisch. Dit is echt typisch. Kijk hier. Het is wel natuurlijk het centrum, ja, dan vallen dit. Maar alsnog. Ik heb op de vuilnis gewerkt. Hè. Ik heb op de vuilnis gewerkt. Ik heb er nog nooit zo meegemaakt. Wat nog meer? Wauw. Daarom is financiële educatie zo belangrijk. Hier. Financiële educatie is zo belangrijk. Hè? Niet omdat wij zo leven, maar in principe word je wel gelicht om zo te gaan leven als je niet weet waar je over praat. Want hier wordt ook eigenlijk echt steeds een grotere scheidingslijn tussen. Oeh, damn. Een scheidingslijn tussen arm en rijk. Als je hoe kan je de scheidingslijn tussen arm en rijk hier omschrijven? Heel simpel. Ja, gedaan. Ik wil dat hij fullscreen gaat. Maar weet je jongens, kijk, wat ik ook altijd zeg, als jij niet weet wat omzet is, wat geld is, dan raak je altijd achter op degene die wel weet hoe het werkt. Wij gaan nu naar een bepaalde situatie toe, ik ga het even opzoeken. Europe. Even een leuk artikel opzoeken. Oké, kom op. Jongens, welkom op de livestream op YouTube. We zijn hier voor het eerst bezig met een livestream waar ik kan screensharen. Oké, Reuters doet raar. Oké, fuck you. Oké, we gaan naar die kijken. Oké, Euronews. The euro has shown a weakening trend against the US dollar since the start of the year. Dit is 2024. The decline is attributed to divergence in inflation trajectories of the euro area and the US, suggesting a continuation of the euro depreciation relative to the dollar. Oké, allemaal heel mooi. Al die praat. Het is allemaal prachtig. Oh, ik ga hem even. Het is allemaal heel mooi, die praat weer. Maar, waarom hebben wij euro-devaluatie? Waarom? Even kijken, wat ben je? The euro, serving as the official currency for 20 members of the European Union, has experienced a notable devaluation against the dollar, declining approximately 2.2% since the start of 2024. Despite a recent minor uptick in the euro's value, the exchange rate between the two currencies, denoted as the euro USD, has lingered at historical low levels, hovering just below 1.08 as of May 14. Here. Looking forward, it appears that the euro may continue to exhibit weakness in the foreseeable future. Inflation trajectory diverges. Inflation in the euro area has been a persistent retreat since 2024, with a headline CPI cooling down to 2.4 year on year in April from 2.9 in January. Oké, dus dat betekent dat UCB notably adopted an increasing dovish stance during its April policy meeting, indicating that a rate cut in June would be appropriate, especially as inflation trends towards the target level of 2%. Okay. Europe needs support to grow its economy. In the fourth quarter, the gross domestic product of the euro expanded by a mere 0.1%. Zo, ik ben bezig. Weet je jongens. Wauw. Die heeft gebeld. This week, forthcoming data releases are poised to be a crucial barometer with consensus forecasting suggesting a slight cooling to 3.4. Okay. Men denkt dus dat de euro nog verder zal ontwaarden.
2 percentage points from 20 years ago. And oil still powers nearly 97% of all global transportation. Contrary to headlines claiming that we're rapidly transitioning away from fossil fuels, it's just not happening. 2 decades and $5 trillion of governments investing in green energy, and we've barely moved the needle. This was supposed to be easy. Why is it so hard? In a word, rocks. To get the same amount of energy from solar and wind that we now get from fossil fuels, we're going to have to massively increase mining by more than 1,000%. This isn't speculation, this is physics. Copper, iron ore, silicon, nickel, chromium, zinc, cobalt, lithium, graphite, and rare earth metals like neodymium. We need them all. And then those metals and materials have to be turned into motors, turbine blades, solar panels, batteries, and hundreds of other industrial components. That also takes lots of energy, which requires even more mining. As the World Bank study put it, these green technologies are in fact significantly more material intensive than our current energy mix. That may be the understatement of the century. Raw materials account for 50 to 70% of the costs to manufacture both solar panels and batteries. Until now, it hasn't really mattered that much because wind and solar still account for only a few percent.
Dit gaat over traditionele brandstoffen en eigenlijk de green agenda van eigenlijk het Westen. Waarin ze dus alles willen vervangen door alternatieve energiebronnen. Maar ja, ik had ooit een gesprek met een mevrouw van GroenLinks. Een mevrouw van GroenLinks die vroeg een keer op een station aan mij, was volgens mij de verkiezingen van volgens mij vorig jaar. Op wie ga je stemmen? En ik zie die GroenLinks folder in de hand, op GroenLinks PVDA. En ik zeg, ja, ik ga niet, waarom moet ik op jullie stemmen? En die vrouw begint die hele pleidooi, alles moet groen worden, bla bla. En ik vraag aan die mevrouw, mag ik je wat vragen? Mag ik je wat vragen? Ik zeg maar, alles moet groen. Jullie zijn voor groene shit. Al die windmolens op de Noordzee komen van GroenLinks af. Maar die windmolens kunnen blijkbaar niet uit elkaar gehaald worden. Die kunnen niet verwerkt worden. Dus er blijft gewoon restafval over wat begraven moet worden. Er zijn bushuisjes van gemaakt op Almere station. Almere station, Poort, heb je bushuisjes gemaakt van windmolenblades. Maar ik zit tegen mijn vrouw, maar vertel jij mij even, want je bent in de 50, hoe kan jij, vertel mij even. Jij wil dus dat alles wat wij doen op één energiebron, van één energiebron afhankelijk is. Dat wil jij. Ja, ik zeg maar mevrouw. Heb je ooit wel zoiets doms, ik zeg gewoon, heb je ooit wel zoiets stoms geprobeerd? Het is hetzelfde van dat we allemaal tegelijk op vakantie gaan. Dat we allemaal tegelijk door een deur heen moeten. En ik ben 37, hè. Dus die mevrouw luistert, dus we moeten allemaal door één deur heen gaan. Door één deur. Allemaal tegelijk. Niemand kan de lift gebruiken. Niemand hoeft de trap te gebruiken. We gaan allemaal door dezelfde deur heen. Wat gebeurt er met die deur? We overbelasten waarschijnlijk dat hele frame. Maar ik zeg tegen die mevrouw, ik zeg, maar snap jij waar ik het over heb? Ik zeg, snap jij waar ik het over heb? Ja, maar we moeten toch alles goed doen. Oké, ik ga je nog beter vragen. Dus stel je voor, alles wordt groen. Hoe gaan die olietankers hun spullen naar Europa brengen? Hoe? Op een batterij. Ja, ik zeg maar luister, hoe gaat een olietanker een batterij naar Europa varen? Hoe? Oké, nog beter. Hoe gaat een tank op een batterij oorlog voeren? Op een batterij, een tank. Ruwe aardolie hebben we nodig. Dus ik vroeg aan die mevrouw, wat leer jij je kinderen eigenlijk? Want ja, ik neem aan dat je je kinderen dit soort dingen ook leert. En die mevrouw, ja, inderdaad. Meisje van dochter van was 15. Ik zeg, mijn kind gaat die shit niet leren waar jij het over hebt. Mijn kind gaat leren hoe het geld werkt. Want GroenLinks verbracht ook nog eens een keer bakken vol met geld. Want jullie zijn een stelletje vuile communisten. Jullie zijn gewoon communisten. GroenLinks komt voort uit RARA. RARA was een communistische terroristische organisatie die meerdere bommenslagen op de naam staan. RARA. Paul Reuzenmuller. Dus ik zeg helemaal vraag, ja, ik begrijp jij, misschien sta je hier maar gewoon onschuld te flyeren. Maar ik vind het belangrijk dat je weet voor wie je staat. En die hele GroenLinks is één scamorganisatie. Want hoe die Jesse Klaver dan zo met zijn handjes staat te dingen. Maar dat is dus die Green Deal. Dat is de Green Deal, de Green Energy.
Here's the reality. Like copper and nickel, all but impossible. Try to square that circle. So far, we've only talked about today's energy needs. What about tomorrow's?
Ja, maar zo gek zijn die mafkeesters. Zo push je die shit gewoon voor. Het maakt ze niks uit. Het maakt ze niks uit. Het maakt ze niks uit. Oké, dat gaat next level. Oh, interessant.
Perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds. The reason for the call today, John, is something just came across my desk, John. It is perhaps the best thing I've seen in the last 6 months. If you have 60 seconds, I'd like to share the idea. The reason for the call today, John, is some.
Wow, wat een ass whooping. Hier hou ik van. Daarom hou ik van mijn China, man. Ik ben Chinees. I'm proud of when I see stuff like this, you know? Maar hij moet wel leren slaan. Hier. Oké, die was raak. Die was ook raak, maar er kan veel meer movement. In die stoten kan veel meer gerichte.
Government and all that bullshit, right?
No, we're building a wall.
Right?
We're building a wall. You don't understand.
But you don't weigh enough, little boy. You're underage, dude. You're underage. Hey, somebody get this child out of my face, please. Motherfucker. Yeah. Hey, so anyways.
You got your.
Hey, don't touch me. Hey, don't touch me. Don't touch me. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, fuck boy. Let's go. Let's go, pussy. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh ja. Oh ja, hij hoekt ze allemaal.
Are you guys going skiing? You guys going skiing today?
Die is wel fat.
You guys don't put your hand on me. Don't put your hand on me.
Oh shit. What? Ze moeten alles verpesten. Ja, maar dat is ook logisch. Ja, maar ja, ik zeg... Hey, wacht even hoor. Dit is ook wel interessant. Dit is de Olympic Flames in Parijs. En zoals je ziet is er weer een travestiet opgetrommeld. Maar met welk doel? Met welk doel? Welk doel moet hier een man verkleed als een vrouw een fakkel dragen? Dit is gewoon tokenisme. Dit is gewoon van, hey, wij zijn ook inclusief. Maar Frankrijk is al sowieso fucked. Frankrijk zijn staatsschuld loopt op. Frankrijk moet dit soort tactieken gaan toepassen om mensen af te leiden van het feit dat ze gewoon een bende van hun eigen economie gemaakt hebben. En nu extreem links ons een keer een meerderheid heeft in het parlement, weet je gewoon van, shit's about to get very, very interesting. Kijk hier. Maar dit krijg je gewoon, mensen worden betaald hiervoor, dus dan lachen ze gewoon mee. Dan kan je zeggen, hey, donder op man, donder op. Ja, het least is accurate state of Paris, ja inderdaad. Stichting Roze Leeuw trouwens, Stichting Roze Leeuw was trouwens vorig jaar geband van de Pride, omdat ze het niet eens waren met sommige dingen van de LGBT-gemeenschap. En ja, dit is dus waarom. Ze staan niet achter de ideologie van LGBT nog wat. En de Stichting Roze Leeuw is eigenlijk gewoon voor naaste liefde, that's it. Zonder al die travestie eromheen. Even kijken wat nog meer. Wat krijgen we nou? Wat is XAI? Bullshit. Er zitten dingen aan te komen. Ja, maar je moet niet filmen.
Come on, Newsbeat, breaking news. I ain't heard nothing about a soldier in his full uniform getting butchered by a lad jumping off of a moped with 2 butcher's knives, stabbing him to fuck. Then he gets up, runs to his front door, continues stabbing him and butchering him. His wife comes out, tries to help him. In his full uniform, on a military barracks in the UK, nothing yet. Nothing. Now imagine this, picture this. A Muslim imam is walking into his mosque. Someone jumps out of a car, a white person, and a non-Muslim, and starts stabbing him and butchering him. Breaking world news, yeah? So why are they not making a big deal of this? Why already is it being downplayed? Have we seen another act of jihad? Have we seen another Lee Rigby style attack? Are our military under attack in their own barracks by a foreign enemy? An alien ideology, which is here to conquer and subjugate, murder and rape. They're all questions, yeah? Winds me up, if I'm honest.